Morning students. Last class we finished up to problem number 14 in vectors. Now we will start from 15. 14 completed, 15 you see. Parallelogram is formed with A bar and B bar as the sides. Let D1 bar and D2 bar be the diagonals of the parallelogram. Then A square plus B square will be how much? See what is the question. What they are asking, see, parallelogram is formed with A and B as the sides. This is the formed parallelogram. A and B as the sides. This will be A, this will be B. Okay, then this will be one diagonal, will be D1. This is another diagonal, let it be D2. Then they are asking A square plus B square value will be how much? Is it clear? So these are the diagonals. This will be D1 bar, next D2 bar, then A square plus B square expressed in terms of D1 and D2 they gave. Okay. So then what will happen? See, according to parallelogram law properties, we can write D1 is equal to A plus B. Directly we can write D1 value will be equal to A plus B. D2 value will be equal to A minus B. D1 is equal to A plus B, D2 is equal to A minus B. Square these two. D1 square plus D2 square. If you had to square these two also is equal to A plus B whole square plus A minus B whole square. So this value A square plus B square plus 2AB. This is A square plus B square minus 2 plus 2AB minus 2AB. These two gets cancelled. So this will be 2A square plus 2B square. This is 2 into A square plus B square. Then they are asking A square plus B square how much? It will come to this side. A square plus B square is equal to D1 square plus D2 square by 2. This formula we will use to find A square plus B square. Is it clear? So a parallelogram is formed with the sides A and B. D1 and D2 are the lengths of the diagonals. Then A square plus B square value how much? So according to properties of parallelogram, one diagonal length will be A plus B, another diagonal length will be A minus B. Okay. Then we squared these two. Then we got 2 into A square plus B square. From that A square plus B square value will be D1 square plus D2 square by 2. Okay. Next. Question number 16, you see what they are asking. So what is the option for 15? 15 it will be C. Next. Question number 16. What they are asking, see, the vector sum of two vectors of magnitude 10 units and 15 units can never be 28, 22, 18, 8. Okay. Two vectors are there. Their magnitudes are 10 and 15. So using these two vectors of magnitudes, we can get maximum magnitude is 10 plus 20, 15. That value is equal to 25. We will get minimum magnitude 15 minus 10. This is equal to 5. So 10 and 15 are the two vectors. Using these two, we can find maximum 25, minimum we can get 5. So below 5, above 25 is not possible. Any value in between 5 and 25, either 5, either 25 or in between 5 and 25, any value is possible. So 28 will be the answer for this. 16, it will be A. They gave 28. It is not possible because maximum value is 25 only. 22 is possible because 22 is in between 5 to 25. 18 is possible. 8 is possible because it is in between 5 and 25. So 28 we can't get. Using the vectors of magnitudes 10 and 15. So 16 first option will be the answer. Am I clear? Next. 17, little bit lengthy question. Check once again, we'll see. 17, what they are asking, see. Two forces F1 and F2 are acting at a point whose resultant is F. If F2 is doubled, F is also doubled. F2 is reversed. Then also F is doubled. Then F1 is to F2 is to F is how much? That is the question. Once again see what they are asking. Two forces F1 and F2 are acting at a point whose resultant is F. So F1, F2 resultant is how much? F. So what we can write at that using that F is equal to F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta. F1 F2's resultant is F. That's why we can write this one. Square this. Then F square is equal to F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta. Okay. Let it be equation 1. Now, what they did see. Next line. F2 is doubled. F is also doubled. So next, what we can write, F2 is doubled, F is also doubled, means 2F whole square is equal to F1 square plus 2F2 whole square plus 2F1 into 2F2 cos theta. Is it clear? Understand here. When F2 is doubled, then F is also doubled. We will get this one. If you write, expand this one, what we will get? 4F square is equal to F1 square plus 4F2 square plus 4 F1 F2 cos theta. Let it be equation second. Is it clear? We squared this one, we got this value. Let it be equation 2. In the next case, what they gave? If F2 is reversed, then F is also doubled. So F is doubled, this one, from this one. F2 is reversed means F2 becomes minus F2. So this will be F1 square minus F2 whole square. So F2 place minus F2 we have to write. So 4F square is equal to F1 square plus F2 square minus 2F1 F2 cos theta. We will get these three equations using the given data. Once again listen what they are asking. F1 and F2 are acting at a point, then their resultant is F. So F is equal to square root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2F1 F2 cos theta. This is from parallelogram law of vectors. From this, if you square this one, we will get this. Let it be equation 1. If F2 is doubled, F is also doubled. F2 becomes here 2F. F becomes 2F. We got this second equation. Clear? If F2 is reversed in this, F then also doubled. So F2 becomes minus F2. F becomes 2F. This F2 place minus F2. So we got these three equations. Then they are asking what is the relation between F1, F2 and F is how much they are asking. Okay. So we'll do one thing. So what is the first equation we are writing here? F1 square plus F2 square 2F1 F2 cos theta. That is first equation. For our reference, because we are rubbing these points. That's it. 4F square is equal to F1 square plus 4F2 square plus 4F1 F2 cos theta. It will be second equation. Next, third equation, 4F square is equal to F1 square plus F2 square minus 2F1 F2 cos theta. This is third equation. These are the three equations we got up to now. What we will do is we will add 1 and 3. F square plus 4F square will be how much? 5F square. These two terms will cancel. These two we will add, these two will add. Then what we will get is 2F1 square plus 2F2 square. Let it be equation 4. Just we added 1 plus 3. Next, that's why we got 5F square is equal to this one. Next, here 4F square is there, here 4F square is there. Means these two values are same. So these two values will also be equal. Using that 2 is equal to 3 implies F1 square plus 4F2 square 4F1 F2 cos theta is equal to F1 square plus F2 square minus 2F1 F2 cos theta. We equated these two. Then these two will cancel. You bring the f2 square to this side. 4f2 square minus f2 square means 3f2 square is equal to minus 6f1 f2 cos theta. 1 f2 square will cancel. Cos theta is equal to minus f2 by 2f1 we will get. Cos theta is equal to minus f2 by, let this will be equation 5. Clear? Substitute this value here in the equation 1. Then we will get f and f1 relation, and substituting that, okay, these values we got up to now. Okay, little bit lengthy problem this is. So substituting this value in equation 1, what we will get to see? Substituting 5 in 1, f square is equal to f1 square plus f2 square 2f1 f2. Cos theta place this one minus f2 by 2f1. So f2 f1 will cancel, 2 will cancel, f square is equal to f1 square plus f2 square minus f2 square. These two will cancel. Then f1 is equal to f, let it be equation 6. This place, f1 place, if we substitute f, then we will get f2 value. Then or directly you can substitute in this also, nothing wrong is there. So substituting 6 in 4, what we will get to see? What we will get? 5f square is equal to 2f square, f1 place f plus 2f2 square. Then f2 square is equal to 3f square. f2 is equal to root of 3 by 2 into f we will get there. Okay. So these values are required. This is f1 is equal to f, f2 is equal to root 3 by 2 into f. They are asking f1 is to, f2 is to, f value is how much? f1 is to, f2 is to, f value how much? f1 will be f, f2 value root 3 by 2 into f, f3 value that is f. Then f1 is to, f2 is to, not f3, f value. So all f's will cancel. So this will be root 2, this will be root 3, this will be root 2. So f1 is to, f2 is to f, that value will be root 2 is to, root 3 is to, root 2. So this is the final answer. So what we will get here, see, option number D will be the answer for this question. Question is a simple question only, but little bit lengthy steps will get the answer. Once again we will do what they are asking. Just for my satisfaction we will do once again. See what they are asking. F1 and F2 are acting at a point and the resultant is F. So what we can write, F square is equal to F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta, equation 1. Next, f2 is doubled, f is also doubled. Means 4f square is equal to f1 square plus 4f2 square plus 4f1 f2 cos theta. f2 is reversed, then also f is doubled. 4f square is equal to f1 square plus f2 square minus 2f1 f2 cos theta. We will get this. So using the given data, we will get these three equations. We are adding these two. We are equating these two. Again two equations we will get. From that we are calculating the ratio of f1 is to f2 is to f. First of all, what I am doing, 1 plus 3. Then what I am getting, 5f square is equal to 2f1 square plus 2f2 square. Let it be equation 4. Next, 2 and 3 are same. 2 is equal to 3. From that what we will get is f1 square plus 4f2 square. 4f1 f2 cos theta. f1 square plus f2 square minus 2f1 f2 cos theta. These two will cancel. Bring this one to this side. 3f2 square is equal to minus 6f1 f2 cos theta. 1 f2 and 1 square will cancel. 3 2's will cancel. Cos theta is equal to minus f2 by 2f1. Let it be equation 5. This 5 value I am substituting in 1. Then substituting 5 in 1, what we will get, f square is equal to f1 square plus f2 square plus 2f1 f2 minus f2 by 2f1. From this we got f1 is equal to f. Okay. Next, f1 is equal to f, we are substituting in equation 2. Then we will get, or we can substitute in this 4. Let it be 6, equation number. Substituting 6 in 4. What we will get here, 5f square is equal to 2f square plus 2f2 square. Then f2 is equal to root of 3 by 2 into f. Like that we got the values of f1 and f2. With little bit patience you have to do just calculation only. Then f1 is to f2 is to f. f1 is to f2 is to f means f is to root 3 by 2, f is to f. Root 2 is to root 3 is to root 2 will be the answer for that. So option number 4 is the answer for that, D. 17 answer will be D. Next, question number 18 you see. What is that? What they are asking, see question number 18. Two vectors of equal magnitude P are inclined at some angle such that the difference in magnitude of the resultant and magnitude of either vector is 0.732 times the either of the magnitude of the vectors. If the angle between them is increased by half of its initial value, Then find the magnitude of the resultant of the two vectors. So simple question only, just English terminology they gave in an ununderstandable way. Just see simple question only. This is here what they are asking. See, two equal vectors. This is one vector. This is another vector. Some angle is there in between them. We don't know. But these two vectors are equal vectors. So what they are mentioning, two vectors of equal magnitude. Two vectors of equal magnitude P are inclined at some angle. They are inclined at some angle such that the difference in magnitude of the resultant, let us assume this is the resultant of these two. This is the resultant of these two. The difference in the resultant, difference in the magnitude of the resultant, let the magnitude of the resultant is R. The difference in the magnitude of the resultant and magnitude of either of the vector, both are equal vectors, so we can use any one. So magnitude of the resultant of the two vectors and magnitude of either of the vector, that difference is equal to 0.732 times either of the magnitude of the vectors. So that 2 and 3 lines meaning will be this one. Two equal vectors are there. Their resultant and one vector magnitude's difference is equal to 0.732 times of that vector. They gave this. Then R is equal to how much? P plus 0.732 P. So here 1 plus 0.732. So with this value 1.732 P, this value will be equal to root 3P. Okay. So indirectly they gave R is equal to root 3P. Using this, we can find the angle between the two vectors. To give this directly, they mentioned all this story actually. So resultant is root 3P. What is the parallelogram law of vectors? From parallelogram law of vectors, R square is equal to P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. This is the formula. Here P is equal to Q is equal to P, R is equal to root 3P. Clear? These two are identical, man. So in the place of Q, how much we have to substitute P? In the place of R, how much we have to substitute root 3P? So this value will be 3P square. Root 3P whole square means 3P square. This is P square. This value will be P square plus 2P square cos theta. So then what we will get? See, 3P square is equal to 2P square plus 2P square cos theta. Bring this one to this side. Then what we will get? I am writing here. So P square is equal to 2P square cos theta. then cos theta is equal to 1 by 2 cos 60 degrees theta is equal to 60 degrees. So angle between the two vectors is equal to 60 degrees we got. Now what they are asking is, see, if the angle between them is increased by half of its initial value, find the magnitude of the difference of the two vectors. Okay. So initially one vector is like this and another vector is like this. Their resultant will be this one. This is R, this is P, this is B. We got the angle between them will be 60 degrees. Now what they did, angle between them increased by half of its initial value. Means a new angle becomes theta plus theta by 2. Theta is 60. Theta by 2 means 30. So totally it becomes 90 degrees now angle. Then magnitude of the difference of the two vectors. Two vectors difference of the magnitude how much? P square plus Q square minus 2pq cos theta. Here theta is equal to 90 degrees, P is equal to Q. This is equal to P square plus P square minus 2pp into cos 90. That value is equal to 0. So R square is equal to 2p square. R is equal to root 2p. This value becomes 0. Then R square is equal to 2p square. Then R is equal to root 2 into p. So we will get the answer 18. It will be second option. Clear? Just mathematical simple problems only. Once again, if you practice 2-3 times, what they are giving, what we had to find, everything, one clarity will come on that. Okay? Don't confuse line by line. You read at the starting, it will take, we have to spend more time to understand. Gradually it becomes less. Starting only everything I should understand, don't come to that type of imaginations. Okay? Spend more time on that to have a grip on that subject. Next, question number 19, what they are asking. Question number 19. Resultant of two vectors of magnitudes P and Q is of magnitude Q. If magnitude Q is doubled, now the angle made by the resultant, new resultant with P bar is how much? So, two vectors are there, P and Q. Their resultant is also Q. Two vectors resultant is also Q. Then R is equal to how much? R square parallelogram law of vectors from what we can write from parallelogram law of vectors. R square is equal to P square plus Q square plus 2pq cos theta. This is the formula. Resultant is also equal to Q. So q square is equal to p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. Q square will cancel. Then 2pq cos theta is equal to minus p square. Then cos theta value, how much we will get? Minus p by 2q. This value we will get cos theta value. Means angle between P and Q is this. Then R is equal to Q. Then now what they are asking, Q value is doubled. Then resultant will also changes. Na? That resultant, how much angle it is made with P bar? That is the question. So angle made by the resultant with P bar, what is the formula? Tan alpha is equal to Q sin theta by P plus cos theta, P plus Q cos theta. That is the formula. Angle made by this is the parallelogram law of vectors. This is P, this is Q, this is R. Then this angle value, how much angle made by the resultant with first vector Q sin theta by P plus Q cos theta. You substitute this, so this value Q sin theta by P plus Q. Sin theta will substitute later, first we will substitute cos theta. Cos theta minus P by 2Q. Here Q is doubled they gave. Q place you have to write 2Q. So this is P plus 2Q minus P by 2Q. 2Q will cancel. P minus P will be 0. So this angle will be, this value will be infinity. Infinity means tan 90. So tan alpha is equal to tan 90. So alpha value, how much we will get here means 90 degrees. So what is the answer for this question means 19, it will be B. Okay, simple question only, no need to confuse. P, Q are the two vectors. The resultant of that two vectors is also equal to Q. So parallelogram law of vectors, this one. The resultant of these two is also Q. Then we got the angle between these two as minus P by 2Q. Now what they did, the angle between them we got. They increased they doubled the value of Q. Then resultant, how much angle it will made with P. Angle made by the resultant with P, this is the formula already we learned in parallelogram law of vectors. Q sin theta by P plus Q cos theta. Then cos theta value we substituted. Still we have not substituted sin theta value. Anyhow denominator becomes 0. That's why that value becomes infinity. So tan alpha is equal to tan 90. Means angle made by the resultant with first vector will be 90 degrees. Okay. That is the second option. Next. Question number 20 you see. What they are asking, see. Question number 20. The two forces 2 root 2 Newton and x Newton are acting at a point. Their resultant is perpendicular to x Newton and having a magnitude of root 6. The angle between the two forces and magnitude of x is how much? Simple question only. Just place attention what they are asking. See, one force is x, one vector is x, another vector is 2 root 2. Another vector, it will be 2 root 2 Newton. Okay, one is x Newton. We don't know this x value is how much. X. The resultant of these two will have a magnitude of root 6 Newton. The resultant of these two will be equal to root 6 Newton, and that is perpendicular to x. Matched, all the given conditions are matched. Check. Two vectors are there, their magnitudes are x and 2 root 2. Their resultant is root 6, and that root 6 is perpendicular to x. Diagrammatically, we represented the given data like. Then, what is the angle between these two? Already this angle will be 90 degrees. If you find this angle, then 90 plus theta will be the angle between the two vectors. And what is the value of this they are asking. Okay. Then we'll do one thing. We will move this vector to here and we will move like this. If we draw a parallel line for this here, that will also have the same magnitude. Here this length is more, here this length is small, like that don't consider. We can take, it is drawn by us only. It may be have small length, it may be have bigger length. If the vector is moved to here, there is no change in the magnitude. Okay? They are asking what is the total angle, what is the x value. Then simple, na? Calculate. Here one triangle is formed. In this triangle, I am writing cos theta value. Cos theta is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side will be root 6 by this value 2 root 2. So root 2 cancels root 6 by root 3 times. This will be root 3 by 2. This is 30 degrees. Theta value will be 30 degrees. So what is the angle between the two vectors? Therefore, angle between two vectors is equal to 90 plus theta, 90 plus 30, this is equal to 120 degrees we will get. That is the angle between them. 120 degrees option only one is there, see. So what is 120 degrees? That is the answer. You will calculate x value also. Pythagoras theorem you apply. Hypotenuse square is equal to side square plus side square. 2 root 2 whole square is equal to x square plus root 6 whole square. So this is 12. This is x square plus 6. Then x, something going wrong. This is how much? 4 into 2, 8. X square is equal to 2. X is equal to root 2. Like that. we will get the value of x by applying Pythagoras theorem here, and the angle between the two vectors is equal to 120 degrees. What they given once again, see, one vector is having magnitude x, another vector having magnitude 2 root 2 newtons. The resultant of these two is root 6 and it is making an angle 90 degrees with x. Basing on that, we calculated the angle between the two vectors, that will be equal to 120 degrees. X value we got it as root 2. Clear? Next. Question number 21 you see. What they are asking. So what is the option here means? First option A. Next. 21 you see, the square of the resultant of two forces 4 and 3 Newton, 4 Newton and 3 Newton exceeds the square of the resultant of the two forces by 12 when they are mutually perpendicular. The angle between the two vectors is how much? They are asking. Okay. Two vectors are there. Question number 21 you see. What they are asking, see. Two vectors are there. This is one vector. This is another vector. The resultant of this angle is there between them. Therefore, some resultant is there. Okay, two vectors are there, between them some angle is there, then some resultant value it is having. This resultant and same vectors are perpendicular to each other. This is one vector. This is another vector. They are same vectors only, now they are perpendicular. Now that is having some resultant. Let it be R1, let it be R2. Squares of this square and this square relation is R1 square is equal to R2 square plus 2 plus 12. If we subtract these squares, then we got the value of 12. Once again listen what we are discussing. 4 magnitudes are also given. This is 4 Newton. This is 3 Newton. When some angle is there between them, that value how much they gave is, then this value will be this R1 square. R1 square value will be how much means? Tell me. Parallelogram law of vectors only. 4 square plus 3 square to 4 into 3 into cos theta. So this value R1 square is equal to 25 plus 24 cos theta. Let it be equation 1. Okay. Now these two are perpendicular. When these two are perpendicular, let the resultant is R2. Then what will happen? 4 square plus 3 square to 4 into 3 into cos 90. Those are perpendicular to each other. Then how much we will get? This is R2 square is equal to, because cos 90 0, this is 25. What they are giving is R1 square minus R2 square is equal to 12. Then theta value is how much? That is the question. Given R1 square minus R2 square is 12. Okay, listen. 4 and 3 Newton, 2 vectors are there or 2 forces are there. The square of the resultant is this one. When these two are perpendicular, square of the resultant is this one. The difference of these two will be equal to 12. So here what we will be, substitute that values. 25 plus 24 cos theta minus 25 is equal to 12. So 25 will cancel. 24 cos theta is equal to 12. Cos theta is equal to 1 by 2. 1 by 2 means cos 60 degrees. So cos theta is equal to cos 60 degrees. Theta is equal to 60 degrees. Therefore, the angle between the two vectors is equal to 60 degrees. 21 B. Second option we will get for this. Next question, 22 you see. Okay. 22, printing mistake is there. Typing mistake. Fourth option you modify in 22. Multiplying any two, remove that fourth option and write multiplying any two vectors. Fourth statement you remove and write this one. Third statement, multiplying any two scalars. Third, A statement, multiplying any vector by a scalar. Next, adding a component of vector, adding a component of vector to the same vector. Adding a component of vector to the same vector. These are the four statements. Next, in this, one statement will be meaningless. Remaining all are meaningful. What is that meaningless statement? Any scalar and a vector can be multiplied. F is equal to ma. A will be vector, m will be scalar. Scalar and vector can be multiplied. Okay. So this is meaning it's correct only. This statement is correct only. Adding a component of vector to the same vector. This will be meaningless. Component of a vector will be scalar. Okay? Is it understanding to you? Component of a vector, what it will be? It will be scalar. Means what they are saying? Adding a scalar to the same vector. We can't add scalar and vector both are different. Forever in your classroom, 20 benches are there, 4 fans are there, 6 fans are there, for example. How many you add that benches and fans means different both are. You subtract it from 20 benches, you subtract 6 fans. What is the answer? Anybody asks, you will laugh. Why? It is meaningless. You can't subtract fans and benches. No? Like this we can't add scalars and vectors. So this is meaningless. So this is the answer. This will be okay. Multiplying any scalars we can do. Multiplying any two vectors, it is also two types. Scalar product and vector product. So scalar product and vector product. So multiplying means dot product and cross product. Multiplying any two vectors, multiplying any two scalars, multiplying vector and scalar are meaningful. Adding a scalar and a vector is meaningless. So answer will be this one. So question number 22 up to now successfully we completed. Totally 63 are there. Daily we are doing 7-8 problems only. Like that we will go. Okay, thanks.